You know, there are cities that claim to be the city that never sleeps. It's a cute marketing slogan, right? New York, Tokyo, they all say it. But let me tell you, they're taking a nice long nap compared to Aethelburg. This place doesn't do naps. It doesn't even do a full night's sleep. Aethelburg, the city of perpetual motion, operates on a schedule that would make a caffeinated hummingbird look lazy. It runs a full 22 hours a day, and for the other two, from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., it just sort of blinks. It's a city built on the idea that time is too precious to be spent dreaming. Why dream when you can live it? Where rush hour happens 3 times a day, maybe 4 times a day, because everyone's schedule is completely different. The sun sets, but the city just swaps out its light bulbs. The moon comes up, and it's just a signal for the second wave, maybe third wave of the day's energy to begin. This isn't chaos. It's a beautifully orchestrated symphony of controlled madness. It's a place where you can get a bespoke suit tailored at 3 a.m. or attend a world-class symphony performance that starts at midnight. The energy here doesn't just fade, it transforms, shifting from the corporate hustle to the creative hum of the night. I've seen my fair share of bustling places, but Aethelburg is on another level entirely. The air itself seems to vibrate with a low, constant hum of activity, a collective heartbeat that refuses to slow down. People walk faster here, they talk faster, they even seem to think faster, as if they're trying to cram 48 hours of living into a 22-hour cycle. And the funny thing is, they wouldn't have it any other way. The quiet is what makes them nervous, not the noise. This city redefines what it means to be alive. It challenges the very notion that we need 8 hours of sleep to function. Here, life is not divided into day and night. It's a continuous flowing river of experiences, opportunities, connections. You can start your day with a sunrise yoga class. As dusk settles over other parts of the world, painting skies in hues of orange and purple, and signaling an end, in Aethelburg, it's just an intermission. The city doesn't wind down. It gears up for its second act. The corporate towers, blazing with light just hours ago, begin to dim, but this dimming is a cue for another set of lights to ignite across the city. The glow shifts from the stark white of office buildings to the warm, inviting neons of restaurants, theaters, markets, workshops. It's a seamless handover, a relay race of light and energy, where the baton is passed from the daytimers to the night dwellers. This is the moment the city truly shows its unique character. While other metropolises are quieting down, with streets emptying and shops shuttering. I once spent a night riding with a taxi driver named Kalen. He was a man in his late 50s, his face like a roadmap of the city itself, etched with lines of wisdom, humor, and very little sleep. He told me he'd been driving the night shift for 30 years. "The night is a different beast," he said, his eyes scanning the neon-drenched streets. "During the day, you're just a service. You take people from point A to point B. They're on their phones, they're in a rush, they're stressed. But at night, you become a confessional. A philosopher's chariot. The city shows you its real face after midnight." Kalen's stories were a mosaic of the city's hidden life. The young chef, 3:30 a.m., smelling of garlic and victory after a grueling service. The heartbroken student, driven around the Grand Canal for an hour, crying over a lost love. The elderly astronomer, driven to a hilltop observatory, sharing a flask of hot tea, while pointing out distant galaxies. Kalen was a silent witness to the city's triumphs and tragedies. Driving at night required a different skill set. Not traffic, but human emotions. You learn to read people, he mused, turning onto a quieter side street lined with glowing lanterns. You know who wants to talk and who wants silence. The exhaustion in the shoulders of an emergency room doctor. My car is a bubble of transit, a temporary home between their last stop and their next beginning. It's a privilege to hold that space for them. As dawn approached, just before the city's 2-hour blink, Kalen pulled near a bakery that was opening. The smell of fresh bread, the first sign of the next cycle. He bought us both a warm pastry.
This is my favorite time, the brief moment of quiet.
You can feel the city take a deep breath before it all starts again. I've seen more sunrises than most people have had hot dinners, and every single one feels like a promise. His story wasn't just about a job, it was about being an integral, moving part of Aethelburg's relentless, beautiful heart. You can have a breakfast meeting at 8 p.m. or a dinner date at 8 a.m. In Aethelburg, the culinary scene doesn't just have a late-night menu, it has an entire nocturnal ecosystem. I met a chef named Alara, whose restaurant, The Midnight Sun, only opens at 10 p.m. and serves its last dish at 3:30 a.m. She was sharp, energetic, and moved through her kitchen with a dancer's grace.
People think we're just feeding drunk people.
Expertly flipping a piece of fish in a sizzling pan. But my clientele are the city's other night dwellers. The theater actors after a show, the surgeons after a long operation, the musicians looking for inspiration. They deserve more than a greasy kebab. Alara's philosophy was that the quality of food shouldn't depend on the time of day. Her kitchen was a hive of focused activity, a stark contrast to the relaxed ambiance of the dining room. "We're a reverse restaurant," she explained, plating a dish with artistic precision. "Our lunch rush is at 1 a.m. My suppliers make special deliveries to me at 9 p.m. We operate in a parallel universe to the daytime restaurants, and frankly, I prefer it. There's a camaraderie among the night crew that's unbreakable. The supply chain that supports chefs like Alara is a marvel of logistics. There are farmers who harvest specific produce under moonlight because they claim it's sweeter. There are fish markets that hold a special auction at 11 p.m., catering exclusively to the city's high-end nocturnal establishments. This entire infrastructure exists to ensure that a meal served at 2 a.m. is just as fresh and vibrant as one served at 7 p.m. It's a testament to Aethelburg's commitment to its 22-hour lifestyle, where every hour is considered prime time for excellence. The city's appetite, it seems, is as sleepless as its people. The streets of Aethelburg after dark are a living theater. Its performers are some of the most dedicated artists you'll ever meet. I remember watching a young woman play an electric cello in the Grand Plaza at 1 a.m. Her music, hauntingly beautiful. A modern melody that echoed off ancient stone buildings. A crowd gathered. Students, off-duty security guards, couples on late-night strolls captivated. She wasn't playing just for money. She was the city's nighttime soundtrack. She said the acoustics were better at night, and the audience was more attentive, less distracted by the day's chaos. I stumbled into the Night Owl's Perch around 2:30 a.m. Exterior sign and warm doorway. Inside, Finian, an elderly bookseller, behind the counter with tea and tall stacks of books. His shop is a refuge for insomniac scholars' lonely hearts.
"A book is a quiet friend," he said.
His voice a gentle whisper. At this hour, people need a quiet friend. They come not just to buy a book, but to find a piece of themselves lost in the day's noise. Nocturnal entrepreneurs carve a unique niche. 24-hour florists for spontaneous romantic gestures. All-night tailor shops for wardrobe emergencies before early morning or late-night meetings. A pet grooming service serving night shift workers companions. They know the need for a beautiful bouquet of flowers, a perfectly hemmed pair of trousers, doesn't stop between sunset and sunrise. They are the city's essential support system. Their collective energy defines the city's character. The street performer, the bookseller, the florist, are not isolated actors. They are threads in a rich tapestry of nocturnal life. They create community and safety on the streets. Their presence says, you are never truly alone in Aethelburg. They are the guardians of the night, the keepers of its stories. Quiet heroes ensuring the city's pulse never ever fades, not even for a second before the great 4 a.m. blink. The reasons are woven deep into the city's history and culture. Aethelburg was founded as a major port city, situated at a critical global crossroads. To accommodate ships arriving from different time zones, the port had to operate around the clock. The markets that served the sailors, the dock workers naturally followed suit. This constant activity became the city's economic backbone. The tradition evolved. This necessity was supercharged by a cultural revolution last century. Aethelburg became a haven for artists, thinkers, innovators. They felt constrained by the rigid 9-to-5 elsewhere. They championed the idea that creativity doesn't punch a time clock. The city government saw the benefits and leaned in. They invested in infrastructure for a 22-hour lifestyle, public transport that runs all night, brighter, safer street lighting, zoning laws for mixed-use neighborhoods. Financial firms here operate in 3 8-hour shifts, ensuring seamless handovers. This creates demand for support services. IT specialists, food delivery cleaning crews, at all hours. The economic incentive reshaped society, making the 22-hour day a competitive advantage. And finally, fun. The people have embraced this identity with passion. They are proud of the city's relentless energy. Nightlife is a core social experience. Festivals and celebrations run for 22 hours or even 44 hours. The idea of wasting time by sleeping is almost a cultural taboo. The city believes life is a grand, exciting event. Stay awake for as much of it as you can. When you dive into Aethelburg's night, you're not just looking for things to do. You're immersing yourself in a full sensory experience. One of the most famous night spots is the Luminarium, a massive botanical garden housed inside a series of interconnected glass domes. At night, the entire place is illuminated by bioluminescent fungi, soft, colored lights that mimic moonlight. Walking through it at 2 a.m., surrounded by glowing flora and the gentle sound of waterfalls, is a surreal, meditative experience. It's where the city's night owls go to find a moment of peace amidst the perpetual motion. The food scene, of course, is a central part of this nocturnal symphony. Beyond the high-end restaurants, the street food is legendary. You have to try the glimmer buns, a local specialty, savory pastries filled with slow-cooked meat and phosphorescent herbs that give them a faint, ethereal glow. Finding the best glimmer bun vendor at 3 a.m. is a rite of passage for any visitor. The sizzle of the grills, the steam rising into the cool night air, and the explosion of flavor when you take that first bite. It's an experience that engages all your senses and grounds you in the city's unique culinary culture. Entertainment in Aethelburg is equally inventive. There's the Echo Theater, an open-air amphitheater that specializes in late-night performances where the audience is given headphones. This allows for powerful, immersive sound without creating noise pollution for the surrounding neighborhoods. Imagine watching a dramatic play, or listening to a live band, where the sound is piped directly into your ears, creating an incredibly intimate atmosphere under the stars. It's a brilliant solution that balances the city's love for the arts with the need for coexistence. It's innovation born from necessity. Now, you might be thinking, how do people survive? How do they not burn out? Living in a 22-hour city requires a different approach to rest. The people of Aethelburg don't sleep in one long block. Instead, they've mastered the art of polyphasic sleep. Most residents take a main sleep cycle during the city's 2-hour blink from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. and supplement it with 1 or 2 strategic naps throughout their day. The city is designed to accommodate this. You'll find public nap pods in transport hubs, parks, corporate offices. This culture of napping is supported by a deep understanding of wellness and personal limits. Employers in Aethelburg don't just allow it, they encourage it. They know that a well-rested employee is a productive employee, regardless of when that rest happens. Companies have designated quiet rooms, and the work culture prioritizes efficiency over face time. You are judged by the quality of your output, not by how long you can sit at your desk looking busy. This flexibility allows people to tailor their work and rest schedules to their own body clocks, creating a more sustainable and personalized rhythm of life. Safety is another critical component that makes this lifestyle possible. The city has invested enormous resources into making the night as safe as the day. The streets are exceptionally well lit, public spaces are monitored by a dedicated and highly visible night guard patrol, and the public transport system is famously reliable and secure at all hours. This creates an environment where people, especially women and vulnerable individuals, feel comfortable moving around the city at any time. This feeling of security is the invisible foundation upon which Aethelburg's 22-hour society is built.